Welcome to On The Bit. I'm Dave from Dream Thoroughbreds, and with me is Lenny from Bluegrass Bloodstock. How are you, Lenny?
Very good, Dave.
That's good, mate. We were on fire last week, mate. You tipped everyone into Zoo Star, 12-1 when we tipped it. And then there was hosting, Fiorente and Prince Sherry in the last, all saluting, and our lays didn't get up either, mate. So everyone must have went home with their pockets loaded. I think we were pretty happy. And I hope everyone took the tip on Prince Sherry, mate, for the Metro. $17 before the win. And they've declared he's a certainty to run. He's now into $5 favourite, so I hope everyone took the lead on that. This week we've got one of the best weight for age races in probably the last 10 to 20 years at Caulfield, mate, the Underwood Stakes. And some previous winners of this race have been Bone Crusher, Octagonal, Northerly, So You Think, and Ocean Park, who won the race last year.
Yeah. And
they all went on to win the Cox Plate, so a very important lead up for the rest of the spring. So who do you like in the Underwood, mate?
Well, as you're saying, Dave, it's as good as races I've seen. Yeah. The Melbourne Racing Club and Josh Rodder, they'd be tickled pink with this race. It's unbelievable. For mine, I'm going to stick with the mare, Atlantic Jewel.
Yep.
Her biggest test to date, obviously. But what I love about this filly is she can put herself anywhere in the run.
Yeah. And
she can switch off. If she needs to be on the speed, she can be on the speed. If she has to go back, she can relax, but she still finishes her race off. And looking at this race, even though it's a Group 1, there doesn't seem to be any real genuine leaders and a lot of genuine speed in it. So I think a horse as such as her, she'll probably jump from the 7, and Rod will go forward and put her right there.
I think he has to, yeah.
Yeah, and just be set to pounce at the turn. But if she's going to win the Cox Plate, she'd be wanting to really win this type of event. And I'll go on to say that I think she'll stamp herself as one of the best horses we've ever seen, as long as she stays sound over this spring.
Big call.
Yep.
Race chock full of value for mine. Only query is no natural leader. So I expect it to be a race of tactics, but you've just tipped everyone into a $1.45 favourite, mate.
Yeah.
$1.45. I cannot believe she has come up with $1.45.
As long as they win, it doesn't matter.
True, but I reckon this is a great opportunity for a lot of other horses in this race. And I'm actually going to tip it's a done deal. $11 chance. And I think everyone's forgotten how good this horse goes second up. He's second up, 1400 to 1800. He's come here for a 3-race campaign, the Underwood, Caulfield Stakes into the Cox Plate. He beat Brashear in a Group 1 last campaign, in a Group 1 second up last time. I think it's just too good an opportunity to miss at $11. So I'm going to stick with it's a done deal for Saturday's race. I just think Atlantic Jewel is in probably the toughest race of her career, and I just don't want to take the $1.45. I'm even thinking that Silent Achiever here is a super chance in this race. Although I think she may be just a run short, and the lack of speed's probably going to hurt her a little bit. So she probably won't get the race run to her liking. She's $41 each way and $6.50 a place. I can see her steaming home here, and I think from after this start onwards, she's going to actually be a big player for the spring. So I think she might have come back, and apparently Roger James has said she's put on a lot more condition this campaign. So I think she can be a big improver over the spring. But a great race, lots of value. Another ripping weight for age race, mate, is the Group 1 George Main Stakes at Randwick on Saturday too. So what do you like in the George Main, mate?
Oh, throw a dart on how hard's that?
It's a good race.
Tough race. Two different form lines going into the races, the Tramway and the Chelmsford. I'm going to tip another favourite in this one, Dave, and that's Hawkspur.
Yep.
His 2 runs to date have been super. His first up run, he got a run up on the inside and was making really good ground, and then he sort of just ran out of condition the last bit. His win in the Chelmsford, geez, nothing made ground all day, and he just found that opening and just really attacked the line. And probably he's a horse looking for further now, but
he is, yeah.
But the way he won, I'll be happy to stick with him. I think it is such a tough race, and it's so open that there's going to be a lot of other chances. I think Streamer goes really good second up.
Yep.
And you've also got to concede a chance to the Doncaster winner in Sacred Falls. He was really good last start too.
He was.
Then you could make a case for Faulkner and the rest of them. So
He's a good chance. I am very, very keen here on Dissident. I really thought he was a huge run last week in the Golden Rose. Just as big as one run as the winner Zoostar. In fact, he was coming back at the winner on the line. It gives me an impression that the 1600 is going to be right up his alley. This is after last week he sat 3 wide on the speed, and then he sprinted away from the pack at the 300. It was just Zoostar was just an enormous run to run him down. I expect him to lead in this race. He actually has been sitting back, but I expect him to go to the lead, and I think it'll only be a steady pace. I don't think there's a lot of pace. Streamer will probably be up there, but I don't think they'll be wanting to take him on. I don't think they'll put it on, go at a fast clip. So I think if he gets through the first 600 without any sort of pressure on him, I think he'll be too nippy for the rest of them once they turn into the straight. He's getting 6 kilos off all of them as a 3-year-old. He's only on the 50 and a half. He's 7-1 fixed odds. He's the one I want to be on in this race, so he's on the bit for mine. Stable news, Lenny. What's your stable news for the weekend?
pretty quiet, Dave, this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too much happening. Possibly looking forward. The Tattersalls catalogues are coming out for the Tried Horse sales, so
Down in the UK.
Yeah. So we'll be having a look at them. Future.
Yeah, it's a good sale to be on. We bought a few from that sale before previously, and you can find. Was Forteller out of that sale, or was he somewhere else?
No, Forteller was out of that sale.
Yeah, so you can pick up a good horse. Yeah. We've got a few runners this weekend. We've got Charles and Charge running in Adelaide tomorrow. You'd expect him to be winning this race. Claire Lindop will ride. If he's going to be competitive further on the spring, where we just think he should win, he's $2 favourite, so he's not much value. But I'll be watching and just hoping he has a nice run and wins it quite easily. Chosen Moment, he's going around next Thursday at Seymour after just having a bit of a setback. And without knowing the field, I still think he'd be right in the finish of something like that, 0.78 race. And some exciting news, mate. One of your horses we talked about last week, the Mossman Colt, which has actually been named now. It's called Cap Moss. He goes around in the first 2-year-old trials at Randwick on Monday. It's an 800 metre trial for colts and gelding. We've got Hugh Bowman to take the ride, and really exciting, mate. We're really looking forward to it. If he actually runs a place in this trial, he's then qualified to go into the Breeders' Plate, which is on October the 5th on Epsom Day at Randwick. And it's only 2 weeks afterwards, and you'd be thinking that if he runs a place, we'd be running him. So
for sure.
So really exciting, mate. We'll update everyone on the news. It will be on TVN if everyone wants to look. All right, mate. What's your best on breeding for the weekend, mate?
Best on breedings, race 8, number 11, Sessions in Sydney, Dave. He's by the champion Australian sire of 2010 and 11 in Longrow, and we got a Longrow this year, Dave. Yeah. He's a sire of 36 stakes winners, including the champion Piero. Sessions is out of a beautifully bred mare, Seances, who's she won 5 races, including the Millie Fox.
Yep.
And is a half sister to the Group 1 winner in Unworldly and stakes winner Gordo. And she herself's produced the Group 2 winner in Renaissance, which is making her a full sister to Sessions.
Right, okay. Yeah, very nice breed. You'll hear more from me later on. Value bets. Value bets from me. I've got 2 actually, I'll throw it at you quickly. Caulfield, race 2, number 3, The Peak. This horse has actually been racing in Hong Kong. It's his first start in Australia. And I think you're going to see a really good horse here. He was a very progressive type in Hong Kong, and he's been sent over to Australia, and who better to have him than Bart Cummings with James, his nephew? Grandson, sorry. His grandson, training with him, yeah, that's right. So I think I've set him up here for a first up kill. He's $5 in early markets. I expect him to be well backed, and I'm happy to take the $5. I just think he beats this field. And Caulfield race 8, number 4, Mudre. This horse was a massive run last start in the Mackay Derby. He ran 3rd. It's been 3 years since we saw him in his best form, but and he's been a bit hot and cold ever since. But he's been racing in pretty good company. He's been racing in Group 1s, Group 2s. He's back to a Group 3 here. I just think if he carries on from that first up run, the increase to 2,000 metres is going to suit him down the ground. I think the bit of rain around in Melbourne, the softest track, is going to help him. He's $9 each way. I just think he's great each way value in that race. So Mudre for me is the other value bet. All right, on the bit, mate. Had a bit of success with our on the bit and off the bit lays this weekend. So who's on the bit for you, mate?
It's yeah, on the bits, race 7, number 6 in Melbourne, Dave. Criggers.
Yeah.
We saw this filly together at Mooney Valley.
Yep.
She ran down the straight 6 at Flemington.
Yep.
There's been a little bit of a question mark whether she's going to get a strong 14. I thought she finished the race off really strong.
Yep.
Kiss of Rose was with her. Kiss of Rose probably finished just a touch better than her.
Yeah.
But this filly has drawn the 2, and she's a commands mare.
Yeah.
So a filly, and I'd say with the rain we're getting, even though Caulfield dries out, it'd probably still be a sort of a dead 5 track. Yeah. Maybe a little worse.
Yeah, I think about dead 5. Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to get, doing the speed map, she's just going to get a gun run on the speed, and the way she's been going. For mine, I think she'll be winning. I'm going against your bet there, Brad Miller, Smooth's horse. So.
Brad Miller?
Brad Miller, yeah, he likes one of Smooth's.
Ah, does he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's all over it. But,
right, okay. Yeah. I think that's Politeness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Politeness. She did win well last start, Politeness. I think she got a lot of upside.
Sure.
For mine, it's Randwick Race 8, number 11 Sessions. This, we're going to have to wait for the last race. It gave me Prince Sherry in the last. Wait for the last race again. He ran the best sectionals of the day 2 weeks ago at Randwick, and he was even running down the against the bias. So it was a terrific effort just to get beat. I think the extra 100 metres will really suit his racing style. He will sit off the pace and launch from the 300. He meets a very similar field. I just think this horse has enormous upside in him, and I really think he's got a good race in him. And potentially this spring he's got a very good race in him, so he's on the bit for mine.
Yeah.
Off the bit, mate. We were right on it this last week. We off the bit were our lays. So who you laying this week, mate?
I'm race 6, number 15 at Caulfield, Rhythm to Spare.
Yep.
I'm just the 1400 at Caulfield. It's drawn 15. It's a horse that doesn't really have great tactical speed.
Yeah.
So from that gate, I think it's going to be caught in no man's land really, and it's probably a horse that's looking for further at this stage.
Be too, yeah.
And you know, even though it won last start over the 14, I think it's going to be wanting a trip. And just too many variables for me. At the quote of about 460, second favourite, not for me.
Yeah. I'm actually laying the horse in the same race, actually. I'm laying the favourite, Don't Get Excited, number 14. This horse has been doing well. He's won 4 on the end, and but this is the biggest test for him so far. He won a 0 to 86 in Adelaide last time. He won it well, but big step up in grade. He's come up $3.50 favourite. I just think it's very thin for a horse that's going into a much harder race.
Yep.
And there's a lot of progressive types in this race. I just think, yeah, it's going to be hard for him to continue on his winning streak, so he's off the bit for mine. So good value in Caulfield. I think Caulfield's probably got the better meeting on Saturday, so we'll be out there again because, as we said last week, it's a good punting day, and these you just can't miss these race meetings throughout the spring. So we'll be there. So good luck on the punt, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.